Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. This is the Choppin It Up Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. I'm your official Marching Podcast announcer, David Thompson, and here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Good evening and welcome to Choppin It Up. I am your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service for you tonight. Today is August 13th, 2013, 6 o'clock on the West Coast and 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We appreciate all those listening live and all those listening in our podcast form, whether through iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, or through our website. At the end of this broadcast, if you decide that you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network, if you feel so in your heart, of course. Simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. So, we are in August, and it's marching season. We are excited about the potentials and for the upcoming battles for the year. We're really, really excited for the Marching Podcast Network and for the 90 Degree Show in general, because, this is our first year now launching from the beginning. Last year was our inaugural year, and now with this year, with adding Rashad, adding the prunalysis and some of the prestige that we've picked up from talking through, like the fifth quarter and other people. We're just excited about the upcoming year. I can't even really put it all into words, but, it's been exciting. I've met some people over the past year, and I'm just really excited for the potential and everything that's going to happen. So we're going to be launching the 90 Degree Show for the 2013 year on the 25th of this month, and that will be our battle preview show for 2013. We'll tell you the battles that we plan to cover. We'll be talking to the prunalysis guy, Rashad Waters, and we'll be talking to my crab brother Troy. I think Maurice will be in there. We're trying to get everybody together. We're not sure if everybody's going to be all the panelists, but you will be always welcome to call in 718-664-6025, 718-664-6025 on the 90 Degree Show, and we'll have your analysis and voice your opinion, and it'll be exciting. So go ahead and check us out. That'll be the 90 Degree Show premiering on the 25th of this month at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be kicking it off, and we'll be on every week for the college football season. So following the theme for this month, with lots of schools in band camp right now, I thought it was best to play a interview and chop it up with one of the directors out in the field, and that would be Mr. Thurman Hollins. Thurman representing St. Augustine University. Thurman, really cool, really good dude. I met Thurman, or Delin, or TD. He's got a lot of names that I picked up over the years, hearing about him. But, Mr. Hollins, representing St. Augustine, like I said, we met back in 1996 at Johnson C. Smith, IIOS. We were white shirts. We weren't crabs. You weren't crabs in 96 at Smith. You were white shirts. And, I remember him being from Marion, South Carolina, along with two other guys. And I can't remember their last name, but it was Alex and Brian. It was Alex, Brian, and DeLynn were from Marion. You always saw them together. They were cool, and all of them were really good musicians. And it was good, meeting them. And, anyway, the following year I transferred, and, later keeping up with other people from Smith, hearing that, DeLynn transferred to, I was like, wow, he, then later finding out what school he went to. I won't give it away now, but over the years, just knowing that, him and I left at the same time. And then later I saw him back again. I think it was in either '04 or '05 at one of Smith's homecomings. Smith's homecoming for one of those years, and we marched in the alumni band. And I think it was the first year. I'm not sure, but it was one of those 2000 years, and it was good to catch up back with him. You know, me leaving and discussing stories about how it was different from Smith, and being a white shirt or being the first year band member in two HBCU bands back to back like that. So it was good to see him. It was good to keep up with him over the years, and now that following his great musical career, he's now a head band director at some schools. So we'll be talking and chopping it up with him tonight. This will be a podcast, but we will be accepting your calls, so you can call in at the number you see there on the screen, 718-664-6025. You can email the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com, tweet us at marchingpodcast, or follow our blog the number 4.themarchingpodcast.com. Let's take the time now to hear from our sponsors. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, Block Band Music, Bandhead.org, Universal Credit Sources, and Big Deal Fundraising. Let's take the time to hear from them now.
Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players in auxiliary and shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. And coming this fall, HBCUbands.com. Write that down, HBCUbands.com. Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. Is your credit score keeping you from buying a home, a car, starting a business, or getting a job? Is your score keeping you from living the life you want? Well, look no further than Universal Credit Sources. UCS can help with charge-offs, collections, late payments, bankruptcy, foreclosure, debt settlement, tax liens, and more. Our program is affordable with results in as little as 40 days. Call now for your free 10-minute consultation with Senior Credit Analyst and Loan Officer Angie B. Call her direct line at 469-362-9904. That's 469-362-9904. Or check out the website at universalcreditsources.com. Universal Credit Sources for anything that's hurting your credit score. Are you ready for this year's College Battle of the Bands? Well, look no further than the 90 Degree Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast. Every Sunday during the college football season at 8 p.m. Eastern, we recap the most intriguing battles of the weekend and give you, the listener, an opportunity to voice your opinion on the battle by calling into the show and talking with our panelists. Check us out on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. The 90 Degree Show, the world's first and only interactive HBCU band podcast show.
All right, we're back, and we're ready to chop it up with Thurman. Again, if you would like to call in and express yourself, go ahead and call in about St. Aug or anything. You can call in at 718-664-6025. That's 718-664-6025. I'll get it out. We'll take those calls after playing the interview. So now, without further ado, TD Hollins. You're now chopping it up with Thurman Hollis, the head band director at St. Augustine University. What's going on today, man?
Man, what's up, Joe?
I'm doing pretty good, man. We really appreciate your time. We really appreciate you being on the show. Thurman is our first college marching band director that we've had on the show, and a good friend of mine, so we really appreciate you being on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. So let's get right into it, man. Where are you from?
I'm from Conway, South Carolina.
Okay, Conway. Now, is your family and all of y'all from Conway, South Carolina?
Well, we from different parts of South Carolina, Dillon, Marion County, all rural areas though. Country boy, man, country boy.
Okay. I kind of, when you say Marion, I think I definitely remember that. When I met you, I remember Marion. That was the name that jumped out at me. So where did you go to high school?
Yeah, I went to Marion High School.
Oh, okay. That's probably what jumped out at me then. So you went to Marion High School. Now you marched in the band when you were there?
Yeah, I was. It's a funny story, man. Because I wasn't really that good. I was the new boy at the school, and I arrived at band camp late. I played trumpet at the time, and I got to band camp late. And so the band director said, "Well, you can." After we auditioned, he put me on cymbals, and I was like, "Dang, I must really not be good if you don't lose a brass player and to cymbals." I was like, "Man!" So I marched cymbals my freshman year in high school.
Wow.
But, I worked really hard that next year, working on sight reading and tone. And I went to All-State that next year, man.
You went to All-State in cymbals?
Oh, no, on euphonium.
Oh, okay. So you went back to euphonium the second year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's outstanding, man. That's outstanding. So what would you say, especially, and you from the South, so it's a little bit easier. I know with this question, I usually ask everybody this question, but what was your first experience to this show-style marching band?
Oh, man. I'd say the most impactful or most compelling experience is when I, South Carolina State used to play FAMU up in Columbia. And, my mom took me to that game, and when I saw, those two bands in person, it was like really, it was an experience that made me say, that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be part of that tradition and that culture. And so I knew I was going to a HBCU from that point.
Yeah, it's basically same with me. Like I say all the time how my dad took me to those games, and once I saw the band, I knew I wanted to be a part of that as well. So when you went to high school and you marched and everything, what school did you end up going to?
I ended up going to Johnson C. Smith University first.
Okay.
I think there were about 5 of us. Duncan Gray came through my high school, and he, nobody else coming through at the time. So, he used to wear the nice shiny suits, and, he made us feel like whatever that school is, it must be pretty big. You know what I'm saying? Because he just looked so like, like he just made it bigger, larger than life.
Yeah.
He scooped up about 5 of us. We was all pretty good players.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he that's Mr. Gray. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely him. So, so you got to Smith. Now you said that was where you went first. What made you transfer? Because I went to Johnson C. Smith that year too. You and I were, I guess we were crab brothers, so to speak. We didn't really have that tradition of that, that influence, or at the same time, we were white shirts. I remember we we had to wear white shirts. So you later, and both of us that I guess those at the fall of '97, we transferred. What made you transfer to a different school?
Well, upon arriving that year, they suspended the music major.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we didn't know until I got there. I was in band camp and started orientation, and they announced it. And so I said, at that point, I knew that I was going to leave because I knew I wanted to major in music ed. And so, I appreciate the experience I had, though, because it prepared me for going to Norfolk State the next year.
Yeah, that's definitely basically what happened to me as well. I remember, hearing that, that I guess it was suspended or something was going on, and so, we had to make a decision. And I transferred to Jackson State. A lot of us ended up transferring as well. I've actually heard it's actually a lot of people that actually, have transferred out basically the same reason. So it's really unfortunate, for Johnson C. Smith. What was your most memorable experience our freshman year there at Johnson C. Smith?
Man, you had a couple because, we stayed on the grind doing things, playing for the Panthers and, getting to see Michael Jordan play for the Hornets.
Yeah.
We stayed out there, man. So, probably those two experiences, man, just being, playing for the pro teams and, that was big for me.
Definitely.
That was big.
Yeah, I definitely, because, we didn't have football. I think the Rams got there, I think my senior year in St. Louis or whatever, but yeah, we never had that basketball team. So I think I remember I don't know if it was a playoff game or something, but I think it was maybe, we played a couple of Hornets games. Like I remember the Bulls, I remember the Knicks, but yeah, we did a lot of stuff, and I think we even did like we would do those little performances in like hotel banquet halls.
Yeah, man. we did everything, man. Those I call them march throughs.
Yeah.
We do all those different performances, man, and it was great, man.
Yeah, that actually brings back a lot because they were fun. Sometimes, we would, other than just, Saturdays, sometimes during the week we'd be like, hey, we got a performance to do, and we get across town. I think I remember we went to the mall one time. We did something in like a conference room at the mall at South Park Mall or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out to Mr. Gray. Shout out to those times. Those were fun. So you later, what made you transfer to Norfolk State?
That was basically the reason, when they suspended that major. Regardless, I kept my eye on what I wanted to do, as far as my career, and I knew I couldn't get it, staying there. So, but specifically Norfolk State, I would say, my brother went to Norfolk State. He was on the football team.
Oh, okay.
And so, he took me up there, let me see the school. So we're gonna be either between Norfolk State or Hampton. And Norfolk State took more of my transfer credit, so I ended up at Norfolk. Yeah.
And Norfolk, I think they have a better band than Hampton too. I think
so too.
Right.
I may be biased, but
That's what's up, man. So you picked Norfolk State, you got there, and I remember myself how it felt like being the whole new guy, like 2 years in a row. Could you talk about how was that experience for you being like a white shirt for the second time in a row?
Well, that particular year was the first year Norfolk State was going into the MEAC.
Oh wow!
And so the band director had this idea. He's like, everybody gonna be whites because we all gonna be new in this conference.
Okay.
So we kind of escaped a lot of ridicule. We escaped a lot of things, on the, out in the open. But we still, to the veterans, we still were rookies, and they cheated us and such. But it was cool. Like I said, I was prepared for that.
Right. Yeah, man. It was That's actually the bomb. That's actually a really, really, really important thing. And who was the band director that did that when you were there?
At the time, it was L.T. Walker, and that was his last year.
Okay.
That was his last year. So my entire 4 years, the Legion, was kind of in a transition. We switched directors, and we was in trying to establish the band that you see today.
Yeah, man, and it's funny how that happened to you. I later transferred to Jackson State. I met Paul Adams, and very impressed with him. And It was a whole bunch of drama that went down some of the years, of course, all the hazing, blah, blah, blah. And he later left for Norfolk State, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, 99, yes.
Right.
99.
In 99. Now, did William Bethea transfer to Norfolk State with him too?
Yes, he either came in 99 or 2000, one of the 2 years.
Okay.
And also Stephanie Sanders. I'm not sure she came directly from the staff of Jackson. I know she graduated from Jackson.
Wow. Okay. So and Bethea's not there anymore, is he?
Yes, he's still there.
Oh, okay.
Paul Adams is the head director. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So okay, well, good for Mr. Bethea, man. I didn't know he was he was still there. I remember he was really talented. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. 97, 98, those years at Jackson State, for all the listeners out there. I mean, the bands were good. 98, Doc kicked a lot of people out, but it was just like a all-star cast of band directors. It was Edward Duplessis, Michael Magruder, who's at Winston-Salem State right now, Paul Adams, Bethea, and we had Louis Liddell. We just had a really good staff, man. And I miss, and it's unfortunate how it all got broken up, because there was a lot of drama, man. I mean, I'll never forget when that all went down, and so many people got kicked out, and then just how Bethea and Adams left. It just wasn't cool for us. And then of course Norfolk, they benefited from it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But a lot of people don't know the history that goes along with that. Paul Adams was a part of establishing a lot of signature tunes for Norfolk State, as far as the hold and all that back in the 70s. He was there early, in the 70s, and he left and came back. But people don't know that he was actually there in the 70s.
Wow. Yeah, and I remember him talking about that a little bit, and he talked about, of course, his Southern days a little bit more, but because he marched, I believe marched too at Southern, so but yeah, it was just really cool. And then later, well, okay, I don't want to get too much in the story, our personal story. Okay, let me get back on the interview. Okay, so okay, so you and when did you graduate from Norfolk State?
2001.
Okay, yeah, me too, 2001. And did you go right into the working field right when you graduated?
Yeah, I became hired as the band director at Highland Springs High School in Richmond, Virginia. Okay.
Yeah. And so when did you transition to the college ranks?
Well, I stayed in Richmond for 4 years, and, I felt like, as a young director, I was moving really quick. I had national titles and all kind of stuff, recognized with the State Board of Education and all these grand championships, and I felt like I was maxing out, and I realized I wasn't later, but at that time I felt like, man, I've done it. I've done everything. So it's time for me to move on, get my master's, and, keep it moving. So I moved to Charlotte in 2005.
Okay. And
I started working on my master's at Winthrop University. And I taught middle school for 2 years. And that second year, I was tapped. The alumni, that's when Smith was going through a transition, between directors and stuff. And I happened to be there, and, they tapped me to be the assistant in 2006. And the director moved on, and that put me in a position when I finished my master's in 2007.
Okay, now, and when you became, the director of Smith, I'm sure, you were excited about it and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what I guess what was the main challenge that you dealt with when you were there at Smith?
Man, I don't really have that first year I didn't have any challenge. You know, the school was happy to have a band that was moving back in a positive direction. You know, the president was very supportive. You know, I had to fix some discipline issues, you know, that came up, you know, a part of the band having multiple directors in a short period of time. Mm-hmm. You know, and I had to, you know, build the instrumentation back up. But other than that, man, it was just, you know, that's what I do.
Right.
That's what I do. So it wasn't that much, you know. But I had some good staff members. I had alumni that I marched with, you know, around. I mean, it was just that first year was really good. And you know, the second year brought all the challenges when we had a new president that, you know, he just wasn't in tune to my vision, and I guess I wasn't in tune to his. And you know, he kind of wanted to straighten the program, and I wanted to grow. You know, and that, you know, that tell you right there. That's not going to work.
Right.
You know, so it didn't work out.
And that's the guy that's there currently now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, that's a trip that actually happens. Because, you know, Smith, one thing about Smith, and it was one thing that also helped me transfer was, I mean, Smith is expensive, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I know that is something, it kind of affected my vision there, being that Smith was just the numbers and just having, you know, bringing in players of a certain caliber, just because, you know, and then like you said, the music program, you know, it wasn't on point. So, I mean, it was definitely tough being in that environment. But you had a really good band when you were there. I came back. I think it was a band banquet, alumni dinner, one of those years, and the band was doing well. And then a couple years later, I heard like that you left. So after that, where did you go after Smith?
Unfortunately, the band director at St. Augustine University, he passed away. That my last year at Smith, and so they were looking for a director, and a lot of people had been transitioning from Smith to St. Aug, you know, that worked there.
Oh.
And so they tapped me for that position, you know, and so I started working there in 2009.
Okay.
And I stayed there for 2 years, and then I left to go. I moved to Atlanta because I got a grad assistantship at Georgia State, working on my PhD.
Okay.
So I moved a lot, man. But I started missing the kids and missing work, and you know, missing working and working with band, and you know, and I came back. So this is where I am.
Wow, man. Well, that's outstanding, man. You actually, you know, head band director at. Now, is there a name for the marching band there?
Yeah, the name that the kids have coined is the Superior Sound Marching Band.
Okay, the Superior Sound, and most of your kids are they from North Carolina mostly?
Yeah, North Carolina and Virginia.
Okay, North Carolina and Virginia. Okay. What has been the most memorable experience you've had so far there at St. Aug?
Man, everything is memorable there because the band program is so young. The marching band program was established in 2006, so they only had 7 seasons.
Wow.
And so everything is new for the program. This past year, my whole thing was get out in the community. Mm-hmm. And so we did a lot of voter, you know, march to the polls, voter rallies, and we ended up playing for Bill Clinton.
Okay.
And the band got, you know, and he gave us a shout out, shook hands, and you know, that was a great experience. The band did their first battle with the band this past fall as well. So you know, everything for the program, man, is exciting to put the school on the map, you know, and to establish traditions instead of just falling into it.
Right. That's actually a really good point, man. So as a director, I mean, like, you are like the Mr. Grade to like what we were, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So like as a director, like, do you feel it difficult, like having to like discipline the kids, or like, I guess, how do you feel like you have to continue to be like that positive role model? I mean, do you always feel like you have to, carry yourself a certain way, I mean, are there any challenges with that? I'm just trying to like picture what's the main focus of how do you like keep everyone's mind on doing the right thing? You know what I mean?
As a professional and as an educator, you have to have a certain demeanor and carry yourself a certain way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been, I was in music education, and I'm an educator, so I always made sure that there was a teacher-student relationship. I'm not your friend, though it may look like, that I'm young enough to be your brother or your uncle. I don't play that.
Right.
I don't play that. So they understand that it's always Mr. Hollins, and I'm always going to be, what they aspire to become, which is a professional. So once you establish those rules and those guidelines and, set those boundaries, you really don't have any issues there.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, establishing, I get like you say, I'm not your friend, I guess that pretty much sets it up. Now, I remember your wife back at Smith, she helped out. Did she also help out with you there at St. Aug?
Yeah, she's my flag coordinator, and actually it's funny because how she started doing that was she actually marched mellophone in Norfolk State.
Wow.
She's a mellophone player, but I didn't have a flag coordinator, so what I did was send her out to some camps. And some of her sorors or whatever that did flag, they hooked her up on some fundamentals, and she's been winning, man. And on the high school level, she won a lot of the grants, championships, and she studied it and engulfed herself in the auxiliary thing. And it works because she's a musician and understands it from the musical standpoint.
Right.
She understands that what she does on the auxiliary part has an accent. What's in the music.
Right.
So she's been great with that.
Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. So also, you being a director, you're also like your face is in the community now. Like, you know what I mean? Like you also work and like you have your face also outside of the band room there at St. Aug. You've been a judge at some high school Battle of the Band competitions, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done a lot of those, and not just on the marching side. I've adjudicated concert band festivals as well. Oh
wow, okay. So and you get in those just by knowing people in the industry, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I believe, I don't believe in burning bridges, and I think that my time in high school doing the high school, has set me up with a lot of contacts, and and I feel like that when your peers respect what you do, that's like the best reward you can get.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed that these guys have been tapping me to do these things, and they respect me enough to adjudicate their own bands.
Definitely, man, because, like I said, I've seen you in a couple of things, like the High Steppers, and I was going to ask you, next month, I believe we're going to, we're in March now, but next month there's going to be is there a Warren County or Taylor Whitehead? Does he have a Battle of the Bands?
Yes, he has a Battle of the Bands in the fall as well.
Okay.
That's a good friend of mine.
Wow, okay. Now, do you participate in those Battle of the Bands as well?
I've had, in the past with St. Aug and with Johnson C. Smith, I took my drum lines up there to his, because his drum line competition is big, man. It's probably one of the biggest on the East Coast.
Wow.
It's phenomenal what even the high schools pull off musically, man, and technically. They really put a lot into those shows.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, man, that's actually really cool. I think we're going to have a show. We're going to have the 90 Degree Show doing the one in April. All right, so we're getting towards the end of the interview. Do you have any upcoming events or anything coming up that you guys are involved in that you want the listeners to know about?
Yes, and it's always something. I was chosen personally to be the conductor for the HBCU All-Star Concert Band. That'll be taking place at Atlanta, Georgia, from April 4th to the 6th. Then the band program will be involved in the Virginia Festival Parade in Wilmington, North Carolina on April 13th. You know, we have a spring concert coming up on April 20th. You know, so it's always. Then we have a high school hosting a high school band camp on June 16th through the 22nd. And you stay on campus for a week, and you know, we put that show together, and you know, get these kids, you know, get their skills up for the summer. And so we keep things moving, man. We keep them going on. We keep things going on.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's outstanding, man. Really proud of what you're doing, man, out there at St. Aug. I got to ask you, I thought about this. Is there a school that you really, like, you got to coach them up for in your conference that you guys really prepare for?
Man, we prepare for everybody. Everybody, man. I mean, because I don't like, we're not that game day band, you know? It's like every performance is just as important as the other. And plus, we're the new kid on the block. So everything we do, you know, we try. It's like that's kind of a gift and a curse.
Okay.
So, because the schools don't expect anything from us, like when we come in. And they get shocked every time. Get shocked every time.
Well, that's what's up, man. Well, I really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you talking to me, man. We'll be looking forward to your battles. We'll be selecting a St. Aug battle this year. And you guys in the CIAA, right? CIAA?
Yeah. So Shaw University. We're in the same city as Shaw University, and that's kind of our cross-town rival.
Okay.
Both schools about 5 minutes from each other, man.
Oh, so that's. I'm sure that's a pretty exciting football game then.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll book that. We'll definitely make Shaw, St. Aug one of the featured battles this week. This upcoming fall then. So that'll be really exciting. So yeah, I'll be trying to get up with you in the fall and catch up with you, man. We really appreciate your time today.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
All right, we're back live, and we appreciate Thurman's time. Thanks to him, outstanding performance, outstanding interview. I love when he said, you know, we prepare for everybody. I remember him saying that, and that being my favorite part. You know, it was again great to catch up with you, man, and proud of him and his success. We'll be rooting for St. Aug this year. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please contact the show. We'll give you the criteria so that we can start to pub your business using our platform. With playing your commercial, we'll post your website on our blog, and we'll help send out your information throughout social media. So contact us so we can help build your business. Again, you're welcome to call in during the commercial break before we sign off. I'll play the sponsorship commercials, and will be upcoming again the 90 Degree Show on August 25th this month, 8 o'clock. We'll be kicking it off with our Battle Preview Show 2013. Again, anyone from St. Aug or anyone else out there representing, you're free to call in. And we'll take the time now to hear from our sponsors. Again, like I said, if you call in, we'll go ahead and take the call. But we'll play from our sponsors before we sign out for the night.
Is your credit score keeping you from buying a home, a car, starting a business, or getting a job? Is your score keeping you from living the life you want? Well, look no further than Universal Credit Sources. UCS can help with charge-offs, collections, late payments, bankruptcy, foreclosure, debt settlement, tax liens, and more. Our program is affordable with results in as little as 40 days. Call now for your free 10-minute consultation with Senior Credit Analyst and Loan Officer Angie B. Call her direct line at 469-362-9904. That's 469-362-9904. Or check out the website at universalcreditsources.com. Universal Credit Sources for anything that's hurting your credit score. Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players in auxiliary and shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is, bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. And coming this fall, HBCUbands.com. Write that down, HBCUbands.com. Are you ready for this year's College Battle of the Bands? Are you ready for some in-depth analysis on your school's band and dialogue about the battles they're fighting? Well, look no further than the 90 Degree Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Every Sunday during the college football season at 8 p.m. Eastern, we recap the most intriguing battles of the weekend and give you, the listener, an opportunity to voice your opinion on the battle by calling into the show and talking with our panelists. Are you ready for the only interactive show in the world for HBCU marching bands? Then check us out Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. That's Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. The 90 Degree Show, the world's first and only interactive HBCU band podcast show. The Marching Podcast Network is a network of podcasts with the purpose to inspire, educate, and show positive images in our community. Our network produces podcasts about college marching bands, business, health, finances, college preparation, spirituality, instrumentation development, along with one-on-one interviews with strong role models in our community. All podcasts are interactive and invite you, the listener, to call in and speak. Looking for a podcast network that educates and inspires to make our world a better place? Then listen to us at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. Check out our website at themarchingpodcast.com. Tweet us at marchingpodcast or follow our blog at blog4.themarchingpodcast.com. The Marching Podcast, changing the world through positive interaction.
All right, we're back live and playing all the sponsors and the upcoming 90 Degree Show commercial and just the overall commercial for the Marching Podcast Network. We're now available on iTunes. We're available, through our website. Check out blogtalkradio.com. Check out themarchingpodcast.com. Donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Just throwing out all the things for the network. We're really excited about the upcoming year and where the direction of where the network is going. We have a couple of new shows that are going to be premiering on the network this fall, and that's going to probably zip up and end the actual programming aspect of the network We still have woodshedding, and we don't want to always put that away. We just want to make sure that we have the experts on call for us, that they can be able to give us some expertise, but we want to also give them a chance to get the people to hire them as clients, so that they can school them directly. We also have Choppin It Up, which is tonight, which will always continue, and also the 90 Degree Show. We also have That's What I'm Talking About. Really excited about that show. They with all of the excitement for their show and all of the feedback we've been getting, they're going to start to come on twice a month. Starting this fall, and they're going to cover a lot more of the areas outside of spirituality, health, and finance and business. All those aspects, we'll be throwing things out there, and we'll be educating each other together. We'll definitely have experts on the show to school us about the ins and outs and the nitty gritty of things. But it's definitely excited about That's What I'm Talking About, and just really reaching out to the community through David and Howard. So we're really excited about that, and then we have a couple of new shows coming on, like I said, and we'll keep that on the wraps now. We'll check out the blog. We'll tell you guys to check out and follow our blog at blog4.drmarchantpodcast.com. Check out all the updates and upcoming information about the show, and that'll definitely keep you abreast of what's going on, and information about the two new shows will be released through the blog first before we say anything about it on air through the podcast. So looks like no one's going to call in, but we really appreciated Thurman's time, and we'll probably go ahead and wrap up the show tonight for Choppin It Up. But we really, really appreciate all those who listen live, all those who are checking out this through the podcast, whether through our website or through iTunes. Donate what's in your heart to our website, themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. The eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. See you next time. And I'm going to go ahead and play a little something else after this, Choppin It Up. I always love listening to Talking Out the Side of the Neck. I'm going to go ahead and pump that up, and I'll probably play another song that I always like before we close it out tonight. But again, thanks for listening. Much love and respect, and we'll be seeing you much more in this month and much more in the future from the Marching Podcast Network, Choppin It Up, the 90 Degree Show, or from all of us here. Thank you and love you, and check you out next time.